Welcome to South Florida Saltwater Fishing. I'm Heath, and it's Tips and Tricks Thursday. In this Tips and Tricks episode, we're going over how to set a planer for trolling. More specifically, how to set a planer when using braid for trolling, which can be a little tricky because of the sensitivity of braided fishing line. Before we get into this though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, or just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss a thing. A common problem that happens when using braided line to troll a planer, which is the preferred method actually of trolling a planer because it gets the right sort of tension on your planer between your main line and your planer. Makes it dive properly and react properly under pressure because of the non-stretching factor of the braid. Now, problem is braid's sensitive. So, as soon as you put negative pressure on it from your lure, which is attached to this end, it tends to trip automatically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over in detail how to correct that problem right now. Okay, so we're letting out the planer and it's not set. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the boat in idle. We're going to let out some more line and then we're going to lock it up. And let out a little bit more just to make sure it sets. And we're going to ease the boat into gear. And you see the rod bend over. Now you know your planer is set. That is how you set a planer with braid. You got to ease into it. It's very sensitive. So we're using braid to control a planer. Braid is really sensitive and it can trip your planer because of the resistance put on it by the lure when you first go to set it out. So if you're ever having trouble setting your planer with braid, you can slow your boat down, put it in idle, let out a little bit more line, make sure that the nose of the planer, the weight, is dipping down, lock up your reel, and then you'll slowly put your boat into gear. Just make sure that it bends over, doubles over your rod. That's how you know your planer's set. You're good to go. Tighten up your drag so you don't get any creep. Put your click on. Tether your reel to the boat. You're good to go. Alright, so that's how to set a planer when trolling with braid as your main line. I'll say it a lot more as time goes on. Braid is sensitive. When you have resistance put on your planer from your initial pull of your boat, and the negative pressure from your lure, it tends to trip braid. You'll have to slow it down. Make sure that nose of that planer is diving down. The weight is going down so that the ring pulls up and then you ease the boat into gear. That's how you get it. The more you do it, the more you practice at it, the more you'll get in tune with exactly what you need to do. And before you know it, you'll get it every time on the first try. Alright folks, that about does it for this episode. Hope you had fun. I hope you learned how to set a planer using braid. Till next time, South Florida saltwater fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.